Hello children, today I am going to explain about the functions which are used in Python. A function, about what it means is basically a group of statements or sentences, we can say, which are also said as instructions, which are executed by the interpreter, and after its execution the function possibly returns a value. Possibly means it may return a value or it may not return a value. Whenever any function works, it works on a set of arguments, which we also call them as parameters. So that's what basically about a function is. Similarly, about the different second term which is used for in relevance to functions is module. Module basically refers to uh, an object related to a class of functions which is needed to be attached with the function so that it could be used. All the functions which are predefined functions, they are if they are members of a module, they first need to be imported. The library, associated library, needs to be imported, and then only the function could be called with the help of module. The module is linked with the function and then the function is called. Similarly, then we have a third category of functions where there is no module needed. It's a user defined function and we just need to specify the name of the function. Need to take care that the function must be defined before its use. Afterwards, in functions, we have different categories of functions. One is inbuilt category, then is defined, those defined in modules, and the third one is user defined categories. First, we'll start with the inbuilt functions. What inbuilt function mean? Basically, it's a set of functions which are already defined to be used for the interpreter, and no module or library is needed for such function. They can directly be used by specifying their name. Some examples have been given, like len, int, float, complex, input, type. These are the different types of function. These are some examples of inbuilt functions. Let's see an code where these functions have been used and how these can be used. See, a string has been initialized with a value capital of India, then a function type has been used and the str has been passed as a argument. So since type function returns the data type of the argument, so str basically is a string, so the output will be string. You can see the output is string. Similarly, the len function, it will return the length of the string, that means as how many characters are there in the string. So it holds 14 characters. Then we have use another variable x with a value assigned to it 24. Now what we did is we used a float function and passed x as an argument. So what will happen, then x will be converted to a float type. That means the output will be a float value 24.0. It's not 24, it is 24.0, you can say. Similarly, a complex function stands to convert a argument into a complex number category. So here this complex function will convert it in 24 into 24 plus 0j pattern of writing. This is the complex format of writing numbers. Now there onwards we have to talk about the different functions which are there in the modules. So if we need to work with such functions, first requirement is inclusion or importing the relevant libraries for their use. The associated library must be first imported so that it can be used. Then the relevant library need to be imported. Then syntax of using such functions is, you need to first specify the module name, like math. If math is a module, then the function name, and then we pass the argument whichever function. We'll see some examples of it. Like basically, when we talk about math module, it is used to process the numerical data, and we have different functions which can be used to process. Like we can find the square root, we can find power, absolute, log, exp, and all these are the trigonometric function. These two are degrees, and radians are related to the angles, so geometry. So these are various functions which are used for performing mathematical calculation and are members of math module. So to use them, any of them, the syntax will be math dot the function name. Say I need to make use of this floor function, so I will write math dot floor, and then will pass an argument, a number for which floor has to be calculated. Similarly, if I need to find out the square root of a number, then math.sqrt and that number. Say if I use math.sqrt and 49, then it will provide me 7 as an answer, because square root of 49 is 7. Let's see furthermore. There are some functions which works on strings. You can see here the module name is string, and the functions listed here are is alpha num, is digit to alpha num, and so on. So what these functions does, these functions process the string. Is alpha will check for the alphabets in the string, and then is alpha name to num to check whether the character at a particular index position in the string is an alphabet or a number. If it's a digit, is digit, then so on. We have more function. We can find out the length of the string also. We can work out to capitalize the string content, the value of the string. So there are many such functions associated with string modules. In continuation, then we have user-defined functions at the last we need to discuss. This bears very important use in Python or any programming language. It's a user-defined set of functions. These are not at all available in any library, nor they are associated, they are freely available for direct use. But the user can define these functions for their explicit definition, and can call them whenever needed in the runtime or compile time of the program. So they works easily. This is one example being given here. A function fun name has been defined. It makes use of two arguments, x and y, both are integer type, and then z is calculated as x plus y. So when we write print sum of, and these are some arguments of print function. So this thereafter we have declared two variables a and b with values 11, 22, and we have code we have invoked. You can see this is name of the function. We have specified the name of the function which we have defined here with def, and we have passed a and b as arguments. So this function will work. This a and b 11, 22 will be